what I wanted to do, Grant, was talk about the topic that's been on the mind the entire week: injuries.
Hmm.
And again, I wanted to do a little bit of what the 49ers should do and will do.
Hmm.
So, specifically related to injuries, the question is, should the 49ers uh, scale back their practice habits? And the flip side to it is like, do you think they will scale back their practice habits? So that's what I wanted to discuss with you. Now,
Great question. Let me hit it real quick.
yeah, yeah,
It seems to me that what I've seen from OTA so far is they have. This
mm,
first OTA practice they had was an hour. It was
mm,
honestly, it was not a practice. It was a glorified practice. They had a couple of 7-on-7s and a very brief 11-on-11. It was the lightest practice I've ever seen. So I think
okay,
they have. I think their problems are so multiple. There's like 11 variables.
mm,
And maybe some of it is how they train, how they're
hmm,
weightlifting. The thing with Jeff Wilson Jr. sounds like
yeah,
a weightlifting thing.
correct.
Yeah.
And I would put the weightlifting also in that same category. I mean, should they take a step back, right?
Mhm.
And again, sort of talking about should, the big thing here is this is a veterans team right now.
Mhm.
I mean, we have talked about the age of the team, and because this is not the same team that was there 3 or 4 years ago when Kyle took over. At that time, it was a very young team. They wanted to have competition everywhere, and they also wanted to establish a culture, right?
Right.
So at that time, they would have had a lot of folks like, hey, just let's go hard at it, let's practice, figure out who is best. Right
Hmm.
now, this is a veteran team, and they got to act like a veteran team. And if you think about all the other examples, and recently Luke Kuechly was on a podcast, and he was talking about the year the Panthers went to the Super Bowl. He was talking about how they scaled back the practice because they were a
Ah,
veteran team, and that
ah,
helped them keep fresh till
mm,
the end of the year.
hmm.
So if you think about the longer season that we have in front of us, the early bye week, I feel that they should take a strong look at the way they train, the way they practice, so that they keep themselves fresh for the latter half of the year.
I think you're absolutely right, and I think the bleak thing is I think they have. I think they're
Mm,
trying. That's my sense from how light these practices have been, and the
mm,
fact that Jeff Wilson Jr. got hurt anyway just
yeah,
shows you how deep this issue is. Man, I mean, they can do the right things, but they can't fix the fact that they've been doing the wrong things for 4 years, and it's kind of
yeah,
deeply embedded in the team.
correct, exactly. And
Yeah,
that kind of gets to my will part, and which is why I feel that will they scale back? I have my serious doubt. It's good to know that they scale back in that first OTA. I'll be interested to see what you see in the next OTA coming up next week, and also going into the training camp, right? Because to me, the biggest concern is I feel that this is a big part of their culture, what they have established,
hmm,
and how they are going to come out of it is going to be interesting to watch. Because again, the other thing you look at it, most of the other teams, I believe I was reading somewhere with Seahawks, like a bunch of players have not showed up, right? And now this
yeah.
team, you have almost all the 90 show up, which
And
in a
now
way
people are
is
getting
good.
hurt. Now people are
Exactly.
getting
Now they're
hurt.
getting, yeah, now they're
Yeah,
getting, yeah, in a way
yeah,
it's good because they show the commitment to the players and the team, which is all
yes,
good. That's a
that's
good part
good.
of it. But then the flip side of it is whether they're going to peak too soon, right? Whether they're going to go too hard at it too soon.
Also, real quick, this is a team. Not only are they vets, but a lot of these players have been on the team 3-4 years. You're not
Exactly.
trying to teach schemes anymore. They got it. They
Yeah.
got the scheme. You really can go light on a lot of these guys. And to be fair, when I was there, Trent Williams didn't practice. Alex Mack didn't practice. A lot of the vets just didn't practice. So
Okay.
again, I think they're trying to do the right thing. If it's true that Jeff Wilson Jr. was lifting weights, came back, sat down, stood up, twisted, and it tore completely, that just shows you that it's kind of out of their hands at this point. They've created, they've got some injury prone players on their team, and they're going to need to
Yeah.
kind of like rebuild
Yeah.
it at some point.
Exactly. I mean, which is
Yeah.
good. I mean, it looks like they're talking about it. They drafted players with less
Yes.
injury history, which is good. But again, the practice, I think they need to find a way to scale back their practice, because I just
Yes.
feel it's the culture. And again, I know Salah's not there. This all gas, no breaks.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel that you cannot keep yourself at the same pace all the time. You got to be able to know when to
Yep.
ratchet up, when to go down, and hopefully they'll figure it out. And even last year, I felt that maybe right after a Super Bowl loss and the no off season, they came back and tried to go too fast too soon. You got to scale it up slowly. You got to figure a way to do that.
Yeah. Si, I got to take some more
Yeah.
calls, but great call as always. Thank you so much for calling in. It's always a pleasure to see you.
Yeah, same here. Thanks,
All
man.
right, take care, Si. Chris Royal says, yo, Grant, I watched one of your videos a couple of days ago, and man, your Christopher Walken impersonation is money. Thanks. I don't know if you guys, 15 years ago when I was in high school, that movie, The Aristocrats, came out, and someone did Christopher Walken was in it. He did a great Aristocrats joke, and me and my friends always try to do the one that he did. So I've been working on a bad Christopher Walken impression for a long time. Thank you.